Hello everyone, so in this video first we are going to see how we can write comments in Python, then how we can display messages on console, then variable declaration, unpacking of those variables, and then how to take input from user. So I created this notebook and first we are going to see the comments. So to write a comment in Python, one might use hashtag to write a single line comment, or one might use hashtag multiple times to write multi-line comments. But there are more ways we can write a multi-line comment. Using these three code, we can write a multi-line comment. So start of this three code and end of this three code, and in between that you can write n number of lines which are considered as a comments. Then another way, we can use double three quotes and three double quotes ending, and whatever line we wrote inside these quotes are considered as a multiple line comments. So this is how we write single line comments. This is how we write multiple line comments. Next, we are going to see how we can display messages on the console. So using this print function, we can display messages. So use the print, then open the parenthesis, and in the double quote, write the message you want to display on the console. So first here we are going to see the most difficult program in any programming language, that is print hello world or display hello world. So you can see we display the hello world on the console. Then, and here we can see when we use two print statements, it automatically moves our output on the next line. So that is how we can display two different outputs or two different messages on two different lines on Python. Now let's say you want to display messages on the same line using two print statements. So in the first print statement, use end is equal to, and in the single quote give the space, and it will give you the output on the same line. Then if you want to separate two messages using some separator, you can also do that. Suppose we are displaying these two strings, one and this is the second, and we want one separator. So this is how we use this separator that will go in between these two words. So this is how we display messages in Python, and these are some extra additional features that we can use along with displaying the message. Then in the next point, we are going to see how we can declare variables in our Python. So as we already saw in the introduction of the Python, that Python is a dynamic type programming language, that we don't need to specify the data type of a variable before storing any data. Here we give a name of the variable, and directly you can assign any value to that particular variable without consideration of its data type. But make sure your variable name makes some sense. And this is how we display the variables in Python. Then in the next, we are going to see how we can display them together. So in this same print statement, we can display various type of variables together, and we can use separator as well. And this is the result. Then we can also display messages along with the variable. So this is the message, the latest version of the name containing Python. So the latest version of Python is 3.10 in 2021. So this is how we can display variables and message together. Now we are going to see how we can unpack the variables. So let's say we want to assign multiple values together. So in the single line, you can assign multiple values together. So that is the meaning of unpacking. So the first goes to number 1, and second 20 goes to number 2, and this is the result, 10 and 20. Then let's say you want to skip the second, then you can use underscore to mention that. And at the last, let's say you want to assign multiple values to a single variable, then we can use asterisk to give a multiple values to a single variable. So here we can see this number 1 is holding 10, but this number 2, that is ages, is holding 20 and 30. And at the last, we are going to see how we can take input from a user. So if you want to take input from user without any message, just use input and open and close parentheses. When I press shift enter, there will be a dialog box to enter your input. Let's say I'm entering Python. Hit enter and here you can see your input is displayed. Then if you want to take input with some message, so here we can see please enter your name, and then you can type the name in front of that. Let's say, and here you can see please enter your name and then type any name. Right now I'm typing Python, so you can see the Python name is printing. So by default, whatever input we are taking from the user, it is in the string data type. In the future, we are going to see the data types and what is the meaning of string data type, integer, and all other data types. But by default, whatever input we are taking from the user, it is considered as a string. And here we can check using this type function, we can check what is the data type of that particular variable. So here we can see when I enter 21, but it is a number, but it's considered as a string. But we can also change that. So using this int function, we can convert the string data type into an integer. So right now you can see I again entered 21, and right now the data type of this variable is integer. Same, we can also enter float type data type. So let's say I'm entering any fractional data, and when I use this float around the input, it categorizes that data type into float. Thank you.